Avinash, good morning. Let's first get your perspective on what it's looking like for the index, for the market, momentum, sentiment. We've got the last 2 days of expiry, of course, for the month. What's it looking like to you?
Yeah, good morning, Ava. Good morning, Shell. See, my sense is that the markets would definitely see a gap up opening today because clearly the tariff issue is out. I think Donald Trump now has been told by the US Supreme Court that these tariff increases were completely illegal. But it creates a little bit of uncertainty for the export sectors, Ava, because now we've been talking to some exporters, from the textile and the auto component space. There's a little bit of uncertainty as to what could be the final tariff and how things could shape up going forward. So I think the markets would take it in a good chin as of now. But I think going forward there should be some clarity as to what kind of tariff finally comes onto India. Donald Trump has imposed a 15% kind of a complete duty on all the countries. But I think coming to the domestic markets, I think the Q3 result season was much better than expectations. My sense is that the markets could see some gradual value buying in companies where the numbers have been good, the commentary has been great. And I think, sectors like auto components, capital goods, hospitals, hospitality, these are bright spots in this market. If at all you get a chance to buy at lower levels, I think the alpha could be significantly high. So it continues to be a stock pickers market. My sense is that once today's gap up is complete, the markets would wait for more clarity because without that, the markets cannot go up, on this level. So definitely approach, the market on a stock specific level, which I think could give in a very good reward because Q4 is expected to be much better than the quarter 3.
Okay, just want to pull up UPL for you. Remember, they're going to spin off and list their crop protection business. So just pull up the stock for you. That's why you're seeing this extreme reaction on a UPL this morning. Let's just pull that up for you. And I'm not sure, Avinash, if you track UPL on a closely, but I'll get your view in on that in a moment in case you do. 696, it's down about 8%, and this is due to plans to spin off and list the crop protection business. Coming at a time like this, what do you feel investors should look for through this kind of demerger?
No, I think clearly, the demerger is targeted to add value to the shareholders. Once the subsidiary gets listed, I think you're going to see a good value upside. But I think in the near term, there are some doubts whether, this subsidiary is going to actually be profitable, what kind of value monetization would happen, and what could be the swap ratio. So I think, markets are a little uncertain, and that's the reason the markets have given it a thumbs down. But I think as more clarity comes in, we have the management commentary, discussing the pros and cons of this demerger. I think clarity will come in. So I think, investors who want to take a slightly longer term call can use the weakness to actually accumulate the stock. Our sense is that this year with a good monsoon, numbers going forward should be better. And I think the demonetization, the demerger which is expected is going to add value, but it will take some time, maybe a couple of quarters before you see some clarity.
All right. I want to get your view in on some of these IT names because we said Jeffries saying that AI may structurally change the IT business mix towards consulting and implementation while shrinking managed services. And due to the risks involved in that, they're still seeing a possibly higher downside going forward. They've cut their price targets by up to 33% and downgraded a whole host of names in HCL Tech, Emphasis, LTI Mindtree, TCS, Hexaware, the whole host of them. What's your take, Avinash, when it comes to the IT pack?
No, I think, Indian companies, according to me, have got the bandwidth and the tenacity to actually approach the AI kind of, scenario. I think what is important is that AI is going to be a facilitator. I think it's not going to result into business closure for these companies. But I think in the short term, there could be a lot of uncertainty as to how many, people these companies would have to cut down. I think that is the near-term challenge. But I think you must understand one thing, that AI is only going to be a facilitator. In fact, AI could improve the productivity of these companies in the longer term by 30-40%. And mind you, these companies are all cash rich. TCS is a company which has got a lot of cash. So in case they announce a buyback, the whole sentiment could change. So I think, somebody who's got a 12 to 18 month kind of time frame should stay invested here. But yes, I think movement in these stocks would be a little slow. So that's a point which investors should take a mind of.
All right. I didn't get your take on the IDFC and AU fiasco with regards to that fraud. What's your view in on it?
No, I think it's a big negative surprise, Abba, because ever since Mr. Vaidyanathan took over the bank, this is the first incident of a fraud in a bank like IDFC First. And I think the number seems to be small, but I think, the trust factor is something which the markets would obviously take in account. AU for Small Finance Bank has also given a clarification that, they don't have a large deposit base, from Haryana government. But I think we'll have to see typically what kind of impact it does in the quarter four numbers, because this will have to be provisioned in the Q4 numbers. Net, I think today the stock is down. I think we'll have to wait for some clarity. There has been some conference call where the management has guided that not much damage is done. But in qualitative terms, the stock will underperform for some time. So I think investors should wait and watch here rather than making a hurried, entry at this point of time.
Fair. It really is all about the banks this morning, and the downside, of course, on IDFC and AU Small Fin on the back of the trust factor, as Avinash so rightly pointed out.